Do you guys get it now? Do you understand? This has been a operation from the very beginning. And as I've spoken before, talking about my interactions with Garry Nolan. Garry Nolan, way back in 2017, when I was interacting with him, he had told me in no uncertain terms, they were already identifying people who they could work with, and they knew who was naughty and who was nice. And that was all the way back in 2017. That was prior to even the To the Stars announcement of October 16th, 2017. So, like Gary with the Soul Foundation, I'm not a big fan of. I don't think that organization is good. Again, I think it's a Bilderberg meeting for rich Uber people who have money to piss away on technologies that may or may not work. Don't know. I know they just had Jake Barber there. I don't know why. I know that he has a connection to Gary Nolan, but like I don't trust Jake Barber at all. I don't trust Skywatcher at all. The people that have come to me and blown the whistle on that organization from the inside, some really shady shit. And the fact that they will not share who funds them, that's a big, big no-no. Like, we got to be transparent here, folks. We got to know who's funding your ass. Because another thing that I don't think, Brother B, real quick, is this division you say that like we're fighting each other. I think a lot of that is caused by Chinese and Russian influencing operations. Because all the way back during the pandemic, 2020 timeframe, before you were here, maybe, because I don't remember you back then, and even maybe a little bit before, there was a Chinese and Russian influence operation on this platform going to UFO researchers and asking them for research. Okay. So we have to be very careful to think like to say we got to pin it all on Eric Davis or all on uh, Lou Elizondo. I think that's very wrong. I think it makes much more sense that our adversaries would want to pit us against each other, but people don't want to hear that because they think that the world's all one giant kumbaya and we're going to hold hands and it's going to be great. No, it ain't going to be great. Russia and China and the U.S. are in a cold war on this technology. It's a race to figure out this technology. And I would also argue we probably made deals with some non-human intelligence. You don't want to believe me? Go ahead. But I do think that is on the table. I think that's in play, and I think that we should be cognizant of that. And also, the fact that non-human intelligence can influence everybody here in this chat should scare the shit out of people. Well, I think the naughty list, and mind you, this was 2017 when he had shared this with me. They were some podcasters from Canada. I call him the Angry Canadian, but that's not his name. I forget his name because he's so irrelevant. Because a lot of what he said just did not come to fruition, was not correct. And I also think that like they knew back then who to deal with, and they saw people like myself and others. They're like, all right, they're willing to work with us. And like I said, the Cambridge Analytica thing is when Gary got off of Facebook, said, I can't be here, guys. Cambridge Analytica, they got all my data. That's not really cool. I find that really interesting now that he's like, he and Jacques Vallée back in 2018 went to Peter Thiel and basically gave him the sit down and gave him the runner like the "What's up with UFOs" speech. And I will never forgive Jacques or Gary for that. And thank you, Jacques, for Forbidden Science Volume 6, where you stated that happened. That for me was the pivotal point in my UFO research career where I was like, fuck. Some of these people just don't care about us. Like they don't care. They don't care about what happens. Why do you
And
think? Go ahead. Now, Gary definitely, definitely, definitely has tricked people. And I'll point to his example, but nobody talks about it. And when I brought it up, people didn't even know about it. People, I encourage you, go look up on Open Minds podcast with Alejandro Rojas before he went down the toilet, went down the shitter. He had John Burroughs on. back in 2015, 2016 timeframe. And in that podcast, he states, this is John Burroughs, equivocally states that Garry Nolan and Kit Green deceived John and his private family doctor to get consent for a blood draw, which John did not want because he viewed it, I forget why. I don't think he wanted his blood drawn. And Garry and Kit went around that and deceived both John and his family doctor and still got the blood draw. And that should fucking make everybody furious. If you think that Gary's all good and he's all kosher, no. No. He's also a diva. Like I screwed up one time back in 2019. He got mad at me because um, I I don't remember the circumstance exactly, but I had said something about Eric Davis, and he got really upset. And then I had to email Gary and apologize. He wouldn't follow me back, which whatever, that's fine. But at least he wouldn't block me. But then I should have known then, like, Chris, what are you doing? Why are you groveling? Why do I need approval from Garry Nolan? Yeah, he tried, like, by the way, folks, he did get into my DMs at one point, wanted to help me with my Klippel-Feil syndrome. But if I'm really being honest with all you in here, I don't think he wanted help with my Klippel-Feil syndrome, which is a rare syndrome. It's not super rare, but it is rare. I don't think he wanted to help me on that. I think ultimately he wanted to get my blood. Because again, I watched from another experiencer, from the experiencer study group, what they had to start, like what processes they would have to go through. And I saw then and there that, holy shit, this is like not cool. Like they're making civilians sign NDAs, some of them for only 5 years, some of them lasting 50 years. Like, what the fuck is that all about? Like, that's weird. I should have known right then and there that that guy was probably not like had our best interest at heart. Um, so again, maybe it's just me being cynical, but like this is reality, folks. This happened. You can say it didn't happen. You can say Gary's the greatest thing since sliced bread. I don't think so. I've cooled immensely on him and Jacques, only because of their connection to Teal and going to Teal back in 2018. And fucking A, man, like if I would have known that information that was in Jacques' Forbidden Science, Volume 6, when Ryan Grimm, the reporter from Drop Site and also from Breaking Points,